What's up, Internet? Let's see if I remember how to do this. I think I do. I muted everybody, so you guys are off to unmute yourselves. I hit the mute button like a jerk. You'll actually have to go into the software and do it. There we go.
What a tool.
I know, right? Hello! Happy Wednesday night. 2014 Wednesday. We're here. I don't know what I'm looking at, but it's time to talk video games. So we're going to do that. Starting all the way to the left, we've got the wonderful beard, Mr. Jacob.
Howdy, everybody.
Doesn't he sound so
You just
beautiful?
have to imagine his beard.
He sounds so good on fiber, doesn't he? Like, that fiber just sounds. You can just
I like
hear
being
it.
fiber. I have ditched the Comcast chains, risen up from the slavery of shittiness.
And now you're part of the slavery of paying the government for your internet.
I pay the government less money. I'm fine with that.
Amen. Next
You
to
guys need
him,
to build an underground railroad so that I can join you, because I'm stuck with Comcast.
there's gotta be. a way to-
Fiber.
I wonder how we could run a cable all the way to Sandy.
Let's
Wishing,
crowdsource it.
crowdsourcing the fiber. We got Randy at Ramcon 5000.
Hello, hello.
That Coke looks delicious.
It's water.
You look iPhone hungover, man.
Oh, I am so hungover. And no offense to any of you who did come and get the iPhone, but people who are Apple fanboys and are like, iPhone's the best, I love it. That's great. You can have that opinion. But when you say the words, I don't know how to use iCloud to me,
Oh my
I feel
hell.
like you're an idiot. You
Ugh.
cannot say you love iPhone and everything about it if you don't know what iCloud is.
Like, what kills
You
me?
need to keep that
Never
out
back
of
it up
this.
to your computer. Yeah, I
Like-
could go on.
What blows my mind is that you've had an automatic backup on your phone for like 10 years and you don't know your email address and password.
Right, and no, I don't know what your password is. I didn't set it up for you. Figure it out.
Anyway, so moving on, looking so pretty. There's Chuck.
I feel pretty. Feel so pretty.
That happened. So you can follow him on Twitter at Chuck Sweat. I don't know if the rest of the crew's going to show up tonight or not. If they don't, that's okay. You know,
We don't need 'em.
it's been a crazy week. So let's start, man. What's everyone been
I
playing?
feel fine. I feel really good.
I also feel good. So what's everyone been playing? Let's start with you, Lance. What have you been playing?
I've been playing this Spiral Jetty.
God, I love those.
So just like everybody else, I'm playing Destiny, but I think I'm the only one who's really PvPing and not really doing anything to do with the story whatsoever.
Yep.
I want to stress to do not put on a fucking man sash or whatever it's called. Whatever class you are, don't put on the one that's geared towards a reputation with certain factions, because that will stop you from getting faction rep, which I find silly, but it is what it is. So far, I've hit rank 2 in Crucible.
Which means what?
Halfway through rank 3 or rank 2.
Just that
Sorry?
you've played enough that you are ranked 2 now, or you've won
Yeah.
enough matches? Okay.
You just have to keep playing, and you got a really sexy ship. You can check that out on my Instagram if you're friends with me. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I am definitely in. These games like this that are set up like an MMO, you can call us an MMO. It comes down to the gear for a lot of people, and that's what I'm grinding out right now. So yeah, that's been good. I haven't really played anything else. Damn it! I wish I could say that I played something else, but I haven't. I went in and reserved some games for next month, and hopefully I'll be burned out of Destiny by the time that some of the survival horror games come out next
I
month.
know.
So that'll be fun.
What did you reserve? Alien?
I already had a reserve on The Evil Within, and I think I might buy Aliens day one. I just reserved it, and I think the only thing that worries me about that game is that I feel like I have a really hard time with games that I can't, like, fight people.
Right,
It's just
but if
like
you
run
want
like a
the
bitch,
true
like
alien
Outlast.
experience,
Huh?
right? If you want the true alien experience like it was in the movie, it was Outlast until the end. That's
You
what
shut
should
your
be.
mouth. Give me a gun, give me like a pipe wrench or something.
I'm just saying, you
Just
love
run
it
down
in
the
Aliens
corridor
movie.
screaming, "Game over, man! Game over!"
Oh man, I was dropping alien references in
Oh
Destiny tonight,
man,
like all night
I
long, and
love Aliens. Aliens is one of my favorite movies
like
of all time.
nobody
I
was
love Aliens more than I love Alien.
like we got to a part in a strike tonight where you couldn't like it had red everywhere. There was monsters all around us, but there was nothing there. And they were like, "Where are they?" And I was like, "It's in the walls, man! It's in the walls!
They're coming in through the
They're
fucking
coming through the
floor.
fucking floor!" And nobody got it. I was like, "This is the worst game ever."
It's because you're playing with a bunch of 12-year-olds.
Esteban is 30. Thank you.
That's the great thing about Destiny. You can't talk to the 12-year-olds unless you invite them into your
That's
party.
true.
Oh,
That's
it's
very
so
true.
great. And you know what else I like is that like if you're in a strike team and then you have to pick up a third to do a strike, I love that like the other person doesn't talk to you. I don't know if they can't or just choose not to, but I have never had like a random pickup be able to talk to me, and that is awesome. I love it.
Oh, I just want to talk about some of the things that I feel like are overpowered and underpowered in that game so far that piss me off. Anybody who's doing PvP, does anybody else feel like the vehicles are severely overpowered? Because I just get on those and I fucking murder people. I mean, it takes the ghost and times it by two, and I just destroy people. I just had a game where I went like 25-7. So yeah, it's bad news. And the other thing that I'm noticing too that pisses me off, and I think there needs to be some kind of balance with this, is like for instance, if I do the Titan and I do the protective class with the bubble, anybody can destroy it, which frustrates me. And I haven't looked through my tree yet to see if there's like something in there that I can get that makes it so they don't destroy my bubble. But that thing is amazing and shitty all at the same time because I throw it up and then some fucking warlock drops his whatever the hell it is and destroys my bubble. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, what's the point of even having this? Why don't I just do the Titan Smash? Like the
Well, I think as you build it up, because it's just like the Titan Smash when it first starts out, it's great, but then you eventually get to the point where your Titan Smash still has like a damaging field, even though you've done it already. So as you build it up, I think that it lasts longer. And if maybe I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure at the top of your tree with the Titan, you actually have like a second shield in addition to your shield that's just always on. That's like an overshield. And I've seen that against Titans that I've played against in PvP, and they're super hard to kill because of that shield. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just got some weird bonus or something, but it sucks when you encounter them because you have two shields plus their life to go through.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking through right now, and no, there's nothing that keeps you from getting blown up by a warlock, or if a hunter comes in their flashy pants mode.
Okay.
Maybe
Well,
you just shouldn't sack Lance.
yeah, be better at. So all right, I'm cutting off the talk of Destiny. If you want to talk more Destiny, you can see our episode last week where we spent an hour and a half talking about Destiny. Jacob, what are you playing?
I'm not allowed to talk about it. You just told me.
So Jacob is still just religiously playing Destiny. So there's that.
That's all I need to play right now. I mean, everything I want doesn't come out until November, so once Dragon Age Inquisition launches, then I won't exist anymore.
I've been trying to decide if I should get that game or not.
You should get that game.
Is it going to be only co-op though?
No, it's single player, and then there's a multiplayer similar to Mass Effect 3.
So, and I know that I've read articles and stuff. I've never played any of the other Dragon Ages ever, and
Mm-hmm.
so I get wary about jumping into a series, a couple games in, just just 'cause I want to have the whole story.
So why don't you just go buy the other games for really cheap and play them?
Can I play those other games on the Xbox One right now?
Nah, you're gonna have to go build a PC for that. Bitch.
See, see,
All right.
I'm not part of the master race, so
Well, so to wrap up the intro, I am right now playing Disgaea 4, a return to Promises for the PS Vita, and the new Sherlock Holmes game that comes out next week. I've been playing that for a couple of days.
how is that?
I'm not allowed to say until the 30th, but I'll text you.
Ah, okay, that sounds
So,
good.
but yeah, so I've been playing that, and then Destiny. I've also, so one of my coworkers Turns out he and his wife are way into Pokemon. So when he got his iPhone 6, he found a really sick iOS. Somebody ported an emulator of Pokemon Yellow. So he's been playing that on his iPhone, which reminded me that I need to go back and check out all my Pokemon. So I've been hanging out with my Pokemon again, and I've also been playing the Smash Brothers demo on 3DS, which is all right. I don't know.
So
It's
I'm
Smash
playing the
Brothers.
game which shall not be named because we're not allowed to.
Wait, you're playing the
And
game which should
then
not be named?
uh and then I'm also playing Castle Storm, that review copy I got for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's not bad. It's kind of reminds me of the old school like Tank Wars where you're like stationary and you have to, you know, do the right trajectory and stuff.
Oh, like
It's
Scorched
pretty
Earth.
fun so far.
I loved Scorched Earth. That game was so sweet.
So, yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds me of
Oh,
Worms
respect.
too, because you send out like troops to fight the other troops that are incoming. I'm at the very beginning of the game, but it's good so far. So,
Cool. We'll have to. I'm excited to see more about that. And I think I really want to find three other people to buy Gauntlet with me, so we can all play Gauntlet.
I'm considering it. If my
Like, so if you're on,
pile prep.
so if you're on board, Esteban's on board, I'm on board. So if we can get one more person, we can buy a 4-pack and save like $5. I'm just saying. Just saying.
So
Which
it's basically $15.
Yeah.
I was
And then you
distracted
can
for a
kill
second.
shit.
Nope. $15 a person for a 4-pack of Gauntlet. So.
Ah, I got that game for free.
Ah, you son of a bitch.
I
You
feel
go
completely
back
out of
to
the loop. What is
poll.
Gauntlet?
It's for PC. It's a remake of the
Uh,
original top-down dungeon crawler from like what was it?
okay,
Early 90s? Was it early 90s?
that's why I'm out of the loop.
If
Yep.
it wasn't for Gauntlet, there would be no Diablo.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly. And so that's something I've really wanted to jump on. So anyway, that's what we're all
it's a
playing.
good price point for. I think
Yeah.
I think that's a good way for them to go about it. I was looking at that today on Steam, and I was like, that's this is gonna get a lot of people on board because if they charge a full like $40-$50, they wouldn't have the rating that they do right now.
Yeah. Well, and it's done by the same studio that did Magica, and Magica is phenomenal. Like that was one of the games that pulled me back into PC gaming was
Get-
playing Magica on my MacBook. So
So fact, Gauntlet, 1985.
thank you. Wow. So yeah, mid 80s. The year I was born is when Gauntlet came out. So, and
God, I
it's
feel old.
the trailer is amazing. Like, did you watch the launch trailer, Lance?
No, I was just watching gameplay.
It's so good. Like they're showing like all these gameplay cutscenes and people are running in and out and going crazy. And then at one point it's like, but your worst enemy is the guy next to you, and it shows his partner blow up the food, and it's like the wizard needs food, and then the wizard dies. And it's like, don't shoot the food.
Nice.
It looks really good. So I really want to play that with some people. So we need to work that out. But anyway,
I'm gonna shoot the food.
don't shoot Lance. Don't shoot the food. On to the topic of the night. Jacob, you were recently at the Gamestop EXPO.
I was. I played some things. I saw some
You
stuff.
saw some stuff. You played some things. E3 in September, essentially. Well,
Yep.
kind of.
To
So,
an extent, yeah.
yeah, tell us
And
about it.
this is basically a GameStop employee only thing, right? Like
It-
a manager.
No,
Not
it
anymore.
used to be.
Not anymore.
Now they have a day where as long as you're in the area, you can join. They have like VIP stuff where you get extra stuff, and then you get into some panels and stuff, and with some of the game developers and things like that. Or you can just do a general pass where you just go and check out all the stuff that they have.
Can you register for a press badge?
I don't know,
I
to be
didn't,
honest.
like I didn't see any press coverage from it. Like there was some stuff.
I don't think they really do a press coverage.
Okay, because I mean there was some stuff leaking out of it, but most of it was like from emails because I was getting press emails from the event. But
Yeah.
that'd be interesting because if so, then we could all press badge our way in and come hang out with you in Vegas next year.
Dude, I'm in. I'm in. You guys can come hang out in my awesome suite at the Venetian.
Tom would be like, okay, let's go. Ooh, is that beer and gambling? I'm gonna go over that way.
Actually, it'll be like, hey, we want to get in, and I'll be like, what are you guys talking about? I do this every year. I'm gonna go drink.
So
No, I saw some really awesome stuff. I was actually impressed by Call of Duty, which is weird for me for how little I've liked Call of Duty for a long time. It plays pretty well. You can definitely tell that some of the people that worked on that game worked on Titanfall or vice versa, because there is some similarities. But they added in some new stuff that I like from that game, and so I like the fact that I can digitally try out any weapon on a range.
How does
while you're waiting for the map to
and
load.
how does the gunplay feel? Because that's something like that's one of my favorite parts about Destiny even right now is that like the gunplay feels so solid and the weapons feel so good.
It
Um,
was really tight. Like it actually, the hit detection was good, and the weapon felt like it should. And you could each weapon felt different, so you didn't feel like you were firing the same thing and with a different thing, and you couldn't shoot people from across the map with a goddamn shotgun.
that's good.
Oh, eat that more than anything.
So that was cool. Aliens was pretty impressive. It was really funny to see there are two types of people. People who understand what alien is, and people who want to be a colonial marine from Aliens.
Calm
And
down.
no, I'm not saying it's a bad. I'm saying they played the game incorrectly. Like it was just hilarious watching people get frustrated as the alien hunted them down and killed them fairly quickly. Because it's a stealth game, so you have to move silently, crouch, move along. It's not about running and making noise, and
Well,
it's about hiding.
I saw a demo where the guy was like hiding in the locker, the alien walks by and he like started to move and then the alien like jumped right in front of the locker and was like looking at the slits and
Yeah.
just had like hold breath and like so he's sitting there and the alien walks away and he gets out and starts hunting him again, but he comes across some people and so he like throws some sort of noisemaker to draw the alien to the crowd to have them like
Oh yeah.
basically kill each other.
You can be as much of a bitch as you want in that game. It's awesome. Um, I like the Evil Within because we talked about that too. I did play that, and I am not ashamed to admit some girlish noises may have come from my mouth. Uh, I may have screamed no at the top of my lungs uncontrollably.
So with the Evil Within, I mean, what is it about it that's making it scary? Is it going? I mean, I don't know much about the gameplay or
So
involved.
I mean, I'm in the middle of this huge convention. I can't really hear story aspects of it. I'm in the middle of a demo, so I don't really know on that aspect. But when you walk in, like I just pick up the controller and I walk in and I'm in this creepy library. And I'm just walking around and trying to find stuff. I've actually got a gun, and all of a sudden out of nowhere this freaking zombie comes out and I keep shooting the zombie and it won't go down. And I shot it in the head. I've seen a zombie movie. And it still wouldn't go down, and then it killed me, and so I was a little annoyed. And when I respawn, I walk into this area and there's this giant door with a bunch of dialed locks, very complex locking mechanism. And as I start to walk towards it, and I have a hatchet at this point, this ghost just appears out of nowhere and just starts doing that stutter walk towards you. Um, I didn't know you were supposed to run because you can't kill him. Apparently, it's the antagonist, and um, it just created a good level of like just the ambiance in there is just so creepy. When I screamed no uncontrollably is when I walked into a room after running from that ghost, and all I hear is a little girl laughing, and there's no one in this little bedroom. So I'm looking around everywhere, and then the laughing is moving from speaker to speaker. At which point I screamed no, put down the controller, and walked away.
That reminds me of there's some trailer out for it's a movie I believe of where this guy buys this really creepy ass doll for his wife or girlfriend and she's like, "Oh, thanks, I love it." And she just looks evil. And you're like, "Have you
Oh,
never seen
Annabelle,
it's Annabelle, yeah,
Yeah,
from the 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 Conjuring.
Conjuring.
Oh God,
like
that
have
movie.
have you never seen a scary movie? Like this
Right.
doll looks like the spawn of Satan. And you're like, "I'm going to put her up on this shelf." You're going to die.
Exactly.
Well, and that's that doll like that was I'm actually really glad they're doing an Annabelle movie because in The Conjuring like that was like a whole unexplained portion of that movie where my wife and I at the end like we were terrified. We were like, what about the fucking doll? Like
Yeah,
we're
that
s-
doll
we're
was
s-
just no,
doll was
no.
bullshit. No.
No.
um, what other stuff did you jump in on, man? What else did you play?
I played a little bit of Borderlands. I had
The
to. I wanted to see
the pre-sequel.
what it felt like without Gearbox. It's Borderlands. I mean, it's nothing you haven't played before.
Okay.
They tried to give a little bit more personality. I could tell while I was playing the game to the characters. So the characters actually were responding to things that were going on the screen. So rather than the silent guys you had from Borderlands 2 and 1. So,
Okay.
but it's not really any different than what it was before.
Yeah, I loved the trailer they just put out for the moon of what is it called, Epis or Epins,
Yeah.
and like with a hammer, what is it, Mr. Torque and Dr. Hammersmith.
Oh, that's so
That
good.
trailer, like at one point, Mr. Torque is just screaming whatever Hammersmith says. So he's like, "For realsies!" Like
I
that.
like the part where he's screaming and he's like, don't call it a butt slam. And then 20 seconds later, he's like, you know what? Call it a butt slam.
Yeah, like that was a great freaking trailer. Like, oh man, I was laughing that whole trailer.
Did
I
So
think
you
the
get
thing
to
that keeps me
play?
coming back to that game is the humor. Obviously,
yeah,
that game. I have a hard time with cell shading, but the gear, the loot, and the damn humor in that game.
well, and I almost wish Destiny
I
would have
love it.
taken a page out of the loot and the humor. Like not the humor, but the loot, because I feel like the loot system in Borderlands is better than Destiny. I guess it's just different, but I like
Destiny
Borderlands.
has, at least in the story, has its own humor, kind of like what Steve was saying last week about Tyrion or the Ghost. I mean, he has the little one-liners that he says. It's just very dry.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
in-your-face humor.
All right, Jacob. What
Um,
else? What other wonderful things?
Um, let's see. I played so much. It's like trying to remember. I played a little bit of The Order.
how was
Um,
that?
How does that feel? Yeah.
actually played really well. It's a lot tougher than I think people are going to anticipate. You really gotta keep an eye on your surroundings. You gotta watch your ammo. Um, the shifters, I don't really can't remember what they're called in the game. Are a little bit
Order the
are
one
tougher
that's
than you
like
would think.
sorry, is
Yeah,
the
you're good.
Order the one that's the in the same vein as Dark Souls?
No, that's
No, that's
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
So,
Oh,
so
okay.
the order is like a third-person shooter. It looks like a third-person shooter, but essentially it's got like all these crazy medieval weapons, and you're in 1886, hence the name 18 or the Order 1886, and you're fighting all these demons, and they're gonna
And
bring
like
in
werewolves
they're
and
gonna
stuff,
bring
right?
werewolves, and you're gonna bring in Tesla. He's gonna be designing a lot of your weapons.
Yeah, he
So
plays a pretty big part in the story,
yeah,
and it's like steampunk type of stuff with a little bit more arcane type stuff thrown in there. All the guys you play are all named after Arthur's knights. So the
oh that's
character you
cool.
play is Galahad. You're not you due to some stuff that goes on that they're going to explain a little bit more. Your characters are very long lived, and you're not the first Galahad, and there have been ones before you that have fallen fighting all these werewolves and all demons and all this other stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's a little tougher than like I said, it's a little tougher than I expected. That was the thing that stuck out the most with me. But graphically, it looks amazing. Everything you've seen on it, if you thought it was a cutscene, that's in game.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm.
It's not a cutscene. It's just as gorgeous. Um, I played a little bit of Little Big Planet 3. Since I jumped in the middle of a level, I had no idea what was going on, and it drove me crazy because I didn't know how to use the little bird character. But they
Well,
all have different
that one looks
abilities.
really interesting, yeah, and it's multiplayer too, right?
Yes, up to 4 people.
So,
And then the cool thing for Little Big Planet fans is every map, every level ever designed is available from Little Big Planet 1 to the PS Vita version, all available online, which is cool.
I can predict something right now. Tom's wife is going to be like pumping him and
Uh,
holding him back from fixing anything in
and
that
we'll
game.
never play that game together again.
I'm not a big Smash Brothers guy, but I played the Wii U version of Smash Brothers. It's Smash Brothers.
Yep.
It's
And
I'm
that's
terrible at it. I've never been a huge fan, so
see, and
The end.
I spent about 3 hours with the DS version trying to get better at it, and I really, really, really liked Mega Man. But like there was some stuff that just felt really inconsistent. Like I couldn't figure out. Sometimes I would shoot a Mega Buster. Like sometimes I would actually charge and shoot. Other times I would just shoot bullets. And there was not like it didn't feel like there was a consistent way to recreate that. So that
yeah.
was kind of frustrating for me. I was like, I don't understand why this isn't working. You know?
I think people are going to be frustrated with the amiibos. Not because they don't work very well, but you may know how to play the game, and then somebody can come in with this extremely high level amiibo that doesn't know what they're doing very well and can rock you because it's more powerful than your character.
Gotcha.
Mm.
So I think that's going to frustrate a few people online, but then, the better people always rise.
Right. Well, and I think too, it's a balance problem, right? So if they're gonna if they're gonna get you to have the game in serious tournaments like Evolution and all the different major events, they'll probably ban amiibos. I mean, just call it like
Yeah,
it is. You just won't play with an amiibo. You'll play with what's available on the game, and that's what'll happen.
absolutely.
So,
You play Shadow of
Mortal
Mordor.
Kombat X really impressed me. They added a couple new things that I was surprised at, and I think it's going to add some new life to the series. You have three stances almost that you choose from before you get into the game. So when you choose the Raiden, however the hell you want to say his name, and then you have three versions you can choose. I can't remember what the first one's called. There's the Lightning Master and then the Trap Master. The Lightning Master is all like his lightning moves are enhanced. He's using lightning like crazy. Trap Master is he's using lightning to set up traps, and then once they get him in the traps, he just does out like crazy combos. And then there's just pure for people who love combos. There's a version of the characters that use those combos. So it's pretty cool.
and you're picking that type before you go into the game, then before you go into the match.
Yeah, so every match you can choose
Okay.
what type you want to play. So
Well, and that was a concern I had watching a lot of the pre-stuff because they were talking, they talked a lot about having the three different types, but they never specified how those were chosen, and that for me was a concern, because like how do we know?
Do we know who the unlockable is on this?
I haven't heard. I haven't heard. I know Kano's gonna be, or not Kano. Goro's the pre-order bonus for pretty much everybody.
Nice.
Hmm.
And I know
Did you
they.
get to play Shadow of Mordor at all?
I went to, but there were still a lot of people that were trying to play it,
Mm.
and I kind of looked at it, and it looks really cool, but I didn't get a chance to play that one.
I'm just super excited for that game. Like I'm a Lord of the Rings nut, and I'm super stoked. So
I'm
It
actually.
looks good.
I'm impressed by how
Good
much hype
studio.
like a Lord of the Rings game is building, because
Yeah.
well,
like I'm
and
thinking
the
back
fact
to
that
my
it's
360 days, and those were not very good.
right, but it's different in the sense that I mean, according to what they're saying, you basically get to you meet a random general and then he evolves as you play the game. And when you play it again a second time, if you play it a different way, his outcome or the way he interacts with you will be completely different if he even interacts with you at all.
Right.
Like, and that's a really unique, customizable thing, and the replay value on that makes it really high for me.
Yeah, and I'm just impressed because like everybody I talk to, like their first thing they say is like Shadows of Mordor, and even like when Lance and I were on that Comic Con panel talking about games we were looking forward to, I think that got brought up or somebody mentioned it, and the crowd went nuts. It was weird. I was like, this game it's bigger
Yeah,
than
I
I thought
don't
it would be.
understand it because I mean, as far as I see, isn't it just like that whole Devil May Cry God of War, but dropped into Lord of the Rings? And I
It's
say that with a grain
one
of salt
game.
because it's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite studios.
Yeah,
It's
and
one
So-
game to rule them all, you guys. That's for sure.
It's
That's what we're
it
missing.
reminded me from what I saw a little bit more of Assassin's Creed, kind of a mixture of the two.
Hmm.
Just
Well, I
because
mean,
there's a lot of stealth action to it, and it's not just run in and kill everybody you can. There is some actual.
just
Sure.
because I'm a fanboy of that studio doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna run out and buy it because I'm not. That's a game I'm not gonna buy, but I'm kind of curious to know how it does. Like, I still want it to be successful, even though, like, I mean, I like Lord of the Rings a lot, but it's just not my style of game.
I'm
So
buying it, so after I beat it, you can borrow it. As
I
long
don't
as
know
it's
that
not
I'll play it.
another Watch Dogs, because if it's another Watch Dogs, I'm gonna be pissed.
We should look into like, but I was just talking to Jacob about this earlier. Is I don't normally like to buy single player games. We should have like an EID copy of of Alien Isolation or something like that, so we can all play it and then
I'd
pass
be
it.
down for that, because it's a game I want to play, but I don't necessarily want to drop the $60 on.
we're gonna buy it on PS4, right?
No,
Fuck no.
See what I did there? See what I?
I saw what you did there.
I'm sorry. We want to play with our friends, so we're gonna buy things on
I have
Xbox.
been. I've been playing with Jacob and Paul and Esteban.
You guys made the wrong choice, and that's okay. We'll move on
Um,
from that.
I
so
made the choice to get rid of my Xbox.
yeah,
I made the choice to buy 7 games instead of buying a PS4. So,
yeah.
Although apparently,
All
the
of which
person
showed
I
up a
sold,
week after launch.
I guess the person I sold it to was a little upset because I had forgotten that I'd gotten upset with my Xbox One at one point and named it piece of shit. And so he didn't feel very confident about his purchase after that. I completely forgot about that. And I was like, oh yeah, I was mad.
Can he not rename? Can you not like wipe it and rename it? That's just what it
He
is.
did. He
Oh,
just
okay.
saw that it was named piece of shit and was just like, oh god, what did I
Oh
do?
no! Oh no!
There were a bunch of games I wanted to play, but at the same time, like, I didn't want to play Dragon Age because I just want to experience that game, and I didn't want to sit down and play it. But the video that they showed looks really cool, so I think that there's going to be a lot to it, and I think the people that hated 2 will finally stop shutting up and will start enjoying the game again.
what about Witcher 3?
They didn't have it playable,
Oh.
but
Boo.
it looks good. I'm really excited because they delivered to me my giant statue from the collector's edition today.
I'm so jealous.
Oh, you were supposed to send me pictures of that. I forgot to get those.
I forgot, my bad.
That's alright. My bad too.
Yeah, they are really starting to give you hand jobs all the time over there at that place that you work that's unnamed, but ran by.
I may or may not have to ever purchase a game again.
You're a fucking asshole. Ah, yeah.
Are the games that you get that you don't want able to be given to people?
Yeah, it's just digital codes, yeah.
Interesting.
Are
Yeah,
they?
pretty much.
That's pretty.
Lords of the Fallen. If
What
you're a
is
Dark
that?
Souls fan, I mean, it's cool, but I don't know. I don't like to play games because they're difficult. And like when you do one attack and like not even a tenth of their life goes down, but they hit you once and you're almost dead.
Right.
That's annoying to me.
Did they have? It's like a dragon game, Dragonborn or Dragon Scale. I don't remember. I
Oh,
saw it.
Oh, that's right.
I think it's Dragon Scale. Microsoft didn't show anything about that.
Oh, okay. That's one I'm interested in, but not enough to like get right away.
You play Sunset Overdrive.
I did. It is
Was it Tony
crazy.
Hawk meets zombies?
Pretty much. It reminded me more of Jet Set.
Oh man.
It's
Jet Set
really
Radio.
it really reminded me of Jet Set Radio with Ratchet and Clank ridiculous guns.
And not
Like-
busted and like not shitty controls, right? Like decent.
Yeah, not
controls.
shitty controls. It's very crisp and tight. But yeah, you're bouncing all over the place and you're grinding on rails and electricity lines and all that stuff, and it's crazy. The weapons are insane. I like the style of the game. It's hilarious while you're playing it. And
Is it?
just,
Because I felt like just from the demo and the trailers and stuff I've seen that the humor is like they're trying too hard with it. Like
But I think
it's
that
just too much.
But that can work. Like when you're really tongue in cheek about your product, it can go really, really well. Like I think
Right.
that's
I
where.
guess I felt like in the trailer they broke the fourth wall like 5 times, and I was like,
Yeah.
if this is how the whole game's gonna be, it's gonna get old.
when I played the game, they didn't really break the fourth wall very much. I can't remember an instance when they did.
Okay.
I think they really just did that to try and like say, hey, here's this new game. I think Insomniac's trying to distance themselves from Ratchet,
Mm.
and so they're trying to do things differently than they did with Ratchet and Clank.
That makes sense.
Trying to think of what else I played.
Did you play Evolve?
Yes, that was actually the next one I was going to talk about. Plays really, really well. I hope there's a lot of content because
Yeah.
for me, $60 based on what I've seen, I think there's 4, maybe 5 monsters, and I think that's part of the reason why they're holding it off is that they're adding some more monsters to it that you can play as.
Play as the monsters.
Yeah, you could.
So
It's-
How does that work?
Yeah.
Out of
how was it?
curiosity, I think we talked about this a while ago. My thing that I'm concerned about is people how they're going to do the matchmaking system for the monster, because I think a lot of people are either going to, I mean, I think I would rather just log in and want to play the monster as
Yeah.
opposed to like, hey, by the way, you're the monster because you had the most amount of points last game or something like that.
Yeah, when we were playing it, there was a seat for the monster and a seat for the hunters.
Okay.
So it's not like it was like random. It was like we were chosen. Um, the monster plays pretty well. At first you're more using the environment to try and evolve. So whenever you choose the monster, you actually choose how it evolves. So every round would be different.
Interesting.
You may
So
evolve
even
it a
if you
completely
choose the
different way.
same monster type, you
Mhm.
could evolve the monster differently. Is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
so it has some different power sets. Um,
What monster did you play as?
oh God, it was like the Cthulhu looking monster.
So not like the Kraken or the one we've seen originally. It was a different one.
Yeah, it was like a lightning based monster.
Cool.
And then like you had these abilities where you could do it was like these sonic shrieks that you could level up so that you would stun the players and then cause damage and push them away, or you could do like traps of lightning all over the place and things like that. So
And did
You
you
know what I like
find?
the most about that game is the target isn't like you have an objective, but during the objective you also have hindrances.
yes,
Like the I saw a video of them like coming across a pond and like one of the players just got fucked up. Like immediately just he went in the water and he got eaten or something like that. I was like, yes, thank you. And I
yeah,
like the fact that the environment is very active.
mm-hmm,
Well, and
absolutely,
as the monster, you can use that to your advantage, but it also can backfire on you too, right? Like they
yes.
can attack the monster just as much as the players.
Yeah, if you're not paying attention, there are some things that can go for a second or two, go toe to toe with the monster, and can
Oh,
hinder the monster's progress.
interesting.
When you were as the monster, did you find yourself like, okay, I got to kill the trapper first, or I've got to kill, like, did you kill a certain type of player first, or was it more,
I kept going for the trapper
okay,
just because that was the one that I found kept me from being able to do anything.
okay,
I mean, I don't remember the name of all of the classes, and that's my own fault for not really paying attention. But uh, once you're trapped, I mean, you have to wait for that trap to come down. If you're harpooned while you're trapped, I mean, you can't move quickly. With the monster, if you don't focus fire on one character, you're going to be decimated pretty quickly. Um, and then that's the big thing with the game is it's all going to be about who you play with.
right.
Random grouping could either work out really well or more than likely the monster's going to decimate you all.
So
If you don't.
basically, pug group. So basically, if you play Xbox Live, you're gonna get fucked up because nobody
Yeah,
knows how to
yeah,
play it.
nobody plays together, and that's the biggest problem with that game I foresee. If you don't work together, then the monster's just going to take you apart one by one.
Good. That's good. Maybe instill some teamwork into the Xbox Live players, but it
Yeah.
probably they'll just be like, "Fuck this game! I'm gonna go sell it and buy Call of Duty."
Oh, the medic is the other one that I went after all the time. That
Mm.
was just I don't like people healing people. It upsets me. I did it in WoW. I did it anything that could heal anything. Team Fortress. If you could heal, I went after you. I didn't care.
That's why his nickname has always been
So
fuck,
that got
fuck
pushed to
yo heels.
February, right?
Yeah, I got pushed to February. I think based on what they said and what I saw, they're adding a few more monsters just because I don't think that they feel it was a big enough game. And I'm sorry, like I don't see it as a $60 game. I see it as a 40, maybe $30 game.
Hmm.
Because that's all the game is.
Is there any kind of like pre-order specials with certain companies, like I'm just wondering if it would be cool even though it would be a lot of work for them to give a certain ability or a certain monster to a certain, like if you bought
Um,
from GameStop or Best Buy or
yeah, there was a pre-order where you got access to a monster early, I think.
mhm.
Trying to remember exactly what it was.
I was just wondering
Uh,
if you knew off the top of your head. If
yeah, I
not,
know that they
good.
are doing some stuff, but I honestly don't remember what it is.
It's okay, because then you can just pay $40 to buy the expansion content early, and then
Yeah.
they'll deliver it to you in small packets. Is because that's how the gaming industry does it now. So
Right.
Exactly. Microtransactions. It's where the money is, son.
Last game I want to know if you played or not was Assassin's Creed, either Rogue or Unity.
I didn't play them. Either I didn't show up soon enough for them to let us play, or they did like what they normally did and wouldn't let anybody actually sit down and play it.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
But I know, and this one's for Lance. I'll wait until he gets back. But
did you get to play?
I
Did you get to see any of Bloodborne then?
they didn't really show much.
Okay.
Like they didn't have it playable.
I'm really
Just with little things here and there.
I'm really thinking after that first gameplay trailer they released like 3 months ago, and a lot of the criticism they got, I really feel like they went back to the drawing board with it. Like, because even like the TGS, the Tokyo Game Show trailer they just released was good, and it looked better than the previous. But then I wonder if they're like really, really grinding out like the combat system and making it more smooth.
I could see that. I think that I mean Lords of the Fallen plays really well, and I don't think that they felt it compared well to Lords of the Fallen.
Makes sense.
Oh, I have the next one.
Well,
Did you get to play anything or see anything for Rainbow Six?
They didn't show a single thing.
God,
Sons
I
of bitches.
knew
Or
it.
the Division. Like they showed none of it.
Like 3 years.
I
Yeah,
really,
they didn't show anything for Siege, and they didn't show anything for the Division. Those were two I was really looking forward to.
those are like
Wow.
I did play Far Cry as well. It's
What
cool.
is that
It's Far Cry. It's like Far Cry with elephants.
that's,
I mean,
Nice.
really, it's like the gameplay hasn't changed. It's still that open world.
just
Like the
elephants.
environment's huge, but the elephants are ridiculously awesome.
All right. So,
Far-
did you see anything that would be like, how do I put it, tactical shooter stuff that's going to be good coming up holiday season or early next year?
No.
You said you had one to mention.
Fuck it, I give up.
Oh, it wasn't a game, but Adam West was there.
That's
Aw,
fun.
snap.
I wanted to get a picture with Adam West so that I could send it to Lance. Be like, look, it's Batman. But by the time, like, I sat in line, and by the time I
You should
got
have
even-
Batman hug you.
You know
He-
what? We
he
should
left
make
by the time I
an
even got
indie
close.
game
Mm.
where you play as Jacob and you're just attacked by all the Batmans through the last 75
like-
years who try
and
to
you're
hug you.
fighting
And then
off
every
Batman
time I'm
to
punched by a
avoid 'em.
Batman or hugged by a Batman, you just hear me screaming, "No! No!"
and the,
That's the game we should make.
and the final boss is like the armored Batmobile from the new game.
Right. And
For the
his-
record, I have a Batman tattoo. It's from the original Batman. Well, it's kind of an ode to Batman. It's on my leg, and I told my ex that if she wanted me to get a leg tattoo, and I hate leg tattoos with a passion, I think they suck. And she convinced me to get one, but I said under one condition, it has to be from the original Batman movie with Adam West. And it's got to deal with the fact that like he has a shark attack his leg, and he pulls a thing of
Spray
anti-shark spray and sprays the shark, and the shark falls off.
And explodes.
So that's,
Don't forget that it falls off and explodes. That's the important
yeah,
part.
doesn't it? Yeah, it does explode.
Like-
That's right.
Like that's where Michael Bay got his first movie inspiration, was from that
Oh
scene.
God! Explosions, things, big things.
Oh, hell.
It
Explosions.
doesn't even matter if it makes sense. As long as there's an explosion, people will be happy.
They did have some cool guests there. Like there was Adam West, Nolan North,
Oh wow.
and the woman who voices Tiny Tina was there as well.
Oh, that's
And then for the Wrestler fans, there was Booker T.
Who's that?
Book of T.
I don't know.
Okay.
He's a wrestler.
He's Booker
Hey.
T.
Small fact. Tom one time used to work for a large corporate entity, and so did I. At this time that we worked for this large corporate entity, we were in a morning meeting, and we were both half asleep. We hadn't had enough coffee. We had our heads down. We were like,
I
Not
remember
to-
this. I was sitting right next to Tom.
and all of a sudden, they call Tom's name, and he has to go up on stage. He wins a fucking WWF belt, and he's like half asleep. And he's
The best part is they called his name, and there's like a silence, and we're like, Tom, and he's like, what? And they're like, they called your name, you won something. He's like, do I have to go?
Yeah.
And so like I do this walk of shame, and it was like this massive ballroom, so it was like a 3-hour walk of shame, and up to this guy who I still don't know who it is. Like he signed.
Yeah,
I think
some
it was
wrestler.
John.
It might have
wasn't
been.
it?
It might have been
He was a
John's.
wrestler. I don't
He
remember who
signed
he
the
was.
belt. He like high fived me and like was all excited. I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Like, please
And
God,
Tom's thinking in his head like, this is like how sports fans would feel if they got to meet Captain America and was
yeah."
given a shield.
You
He's
know what?
We don't
like,
even
That
know how he won the belt. Like
No,
I don't even like we don't even know like what contest he won or what was entered. They suddenly called his name and he's just like, what's happening?
but never you fear because 8 years later, I gave that belt to a needy child for a Christmas present.
it was
Yeah.
adorable. This kid actually, I worked with Tom at another job, and we did a Christmas tree, and this kid put on there that he loved
Wrestling, right?
wrestling. And I was like, oh my God, we have to do this. So I fucking gave him, or we worked together. Tom
Yeah.
obviously gave him the belt.
But yeah,
And
I was like, wait,
I
I
would
can
love to see that kid's face. He got a fucking WWF belt.
signed by John Cena
I
because
think you should have made him wrestle you for it, and then like throw in the match.
We're good
Oh,
people.
we are good people
Tom's good
occasionally.
people.
All right. Well, I think that's the end of our episode this fine evening. Come back
With WWE, we are done.
WWE, we're out. Come back next week where we will talk about the new Sherlock Holmes game.
Ooh.
Hopefully, we will also talk a little bit about other games we've been playing, and we'll
There is
probably
no other game.
there is no other
There's
game.
only
There is
one.
only
There's
one.
only Destiny.
Um, either
I am a
next week
legend.
or the week after, we're gonna try and get some guests that we met at Comic Con on too.
Yeah.
So we'll tune in for that. So
Tune in for that. We'll have some Comic Con guests. All right, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm muting. Everybody mute yourselves. I'm going to black. Good night.